asked a question about a certain book. She says it's called Islami Wazaif. I think it's Wada'if, those books that we've spoke about before. She wants to know, these kind of books refer to certain salah. There's one called Salat al-Tasbih. We did speak about it before, Tasbih. She wants to know, is this kind of salah from the Sunnah, Shaykh?
Obviously, Islami Wazaif is an Urdu term which means Islamic duties to be practiced on a regular basis. Last time we had a question concerning certain practices where people rely totally on certain books such as Fada'il or Fada'il A'mal, etc., which are the virtuous acts. We said, why do we rely on references which compose or consist of weak and fabricated ahadith? Why do we have the most sound narrations after the Quran? Al-Bukhari, Sahih Imam Muslim, and others. It's very easy nowadays to verify the authenticity of any hadith. You stated several things. None of the things which you stated that you read in the book is sound or authentic. As a matter of fact, the hadith of Salatul Tasabih, the scholars differ with regards to its prescription. Based on the hadith, they agreed it's not a sound hadith. The difference now is a result of, since it's not a sound hadith, it's a weak hadith. Some said it's even fabricated hadith. They said, well, some consider al-hadith al-da'if is a reference with regards to doing virtuous acts, not fara'id, not mandatory things. They say, it's something good to do it. Well, it is possible in case that we don't have things to do, which are stated in sound and authentic references. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَتَهَجَّدْ بِهِ نَافِلَةً لَكَ عَسَىٰ أَن يَبْعَثَكَ رَبُّكَ مَقَامًا مَحْمُودًا. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, whoever prays 12 rak'ahs on a regular basis, Allah will build a house for him in paradise. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, advise us to pray witr before we sleep, and he advised us to pray duha, many rak'ahs. So there are some references to do virtuous ibadat and voluntary nawafil. And that's why we say, according to the opinion of Al-Jumhur, that we only should rely on some references, especially when it comes to ibadat, acts of worship. The hadith of Salatul Tasabih, which is narrated by Tirmidhi, and is judged by all the narrators that the hadith is weak. Okay? It's stated that the Prophet ﷺ said to Al-Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, that it is good and recommend to pray this prayer once a day. If you can, then once a week. Then if you can, once a month. That means it's such a great thing to do. But how come that none of the companions was aware of it? Or at-tabi'een? Especially, it has a very specific description. It says that after you recite the Fatiha and the Surah, you say Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allah Akbar, Layla 15 times. Then you say it in Ruku' 10 times. And you say it in Sujood after you rise up from Ruku'. So there is a specific technique and prescription of how to pray this prayer. Well, it was not known to all of these companions, and accordingly, I would rather do what's really stated as a sound hadith, and it's backed up with an authentic proof. So, if you happen to open the book of Sahih Imam Bukhari or Riyadh al-Salihin, you will find many references to virtuous acts. As far as nawafil, stick to that. And when you get to finish all of them, we will start talking about the weak ahadith.
Jazakallah khair, Shaykh. Okay.